new software or a new software so that we can stream to multiple places. So we're going to just wait for a quick second till all these, and we are a go. So hello, this is Trevor Mickelson, and I am here to help you embrace prosperity. And today is quite the honor to connect you with my productivity coach. That's right, this is Mr. Josh Hull. If you don't know Josh Hull, I'm surprised because he is contracted with individuals like Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins, and I'm a client of his, and he runs this amazing mastermind group and does these amazing productivity focuses. He's got this GAB program that you're going to be opening up, I guess, again in the next month or so, that really helps you goal acceleration blueprint. I think is the GAB. I don't know if I missed a letter in there, but goal accelerator blueprint. And over the last 7 or so months, we've been working together and helping myself get into this amazing position of having multiple businesses where I'm able to operate, manage productivity, and just like project management and all this stuff, and be a dad, be with the family, have live a life with a wife who has medical issues, and have a son who has issues as well, and my own now medical issues that are popping up. And it's like, wow, Josh, there's so much in 2021 that I would have not really truly been able to achieve or confront with a full knowingness and capability in my heart that I got this. Because you, and would love to hear your story and why this is applicable. We connected about Healy a few months back, and you got a Healy, and I would love for just to share where your life. I mean, you could speak for hours about the interesting roller coasters that you have been through, and that you have a Healy that you connect with you and your kiddos and your wife, and just wanted to spend some time with you today to see where this goes, open it up, have people get to know you, what it is that you do, how you're helping me, and more so, how is the Healy helping you and your family and your life. So I really appreciate you hanging out, Josh, with us today.
Absolutely, Trevor. I appreciate the opportunity to hang out with you. You know, I always love to do that and spend extra time with you whenever I can. But you're right. I could talk for hours about the whole journey and everything that's happened. I do want to focus on the Healy and what it's done, and even what it's done in relation to my business that you've mentioned. You know, yes, I've been contracted with Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson, the co-creator of ClickFunnels, to train their clients in methods of productivity. I've been contracted by other people. I have private clients. I have group clients. You are one of my private clients. And again, it's a great opportunity to help people. And so before we get into the Healy, let me just back up and give a little bit of why I do what I do. In 2008, I got married to my beautiful wife. Shortly thereafter, I graduated from the police academy the week before I got married to my wife. And so shortly thereafter of marrying her, I was in field training with a law enforcement agency. And we had somebody that we were escorting, and they got what we call froggy, meaning they kind of got jumpy. So I and my trainer took him down. In the process, I got hurt in the groin, and long story short with that, found out a few months later I had testicular cancer. But it was so new. It was so, the doctor said he had trouble even calling it stage 1 because it was so fresh. And so it was removed, and there was no chemo. There was no, just follow-up visits to make sure everything was okay. So I survived that, and it was by a miracle, really, because I'm not ashamed of talking about testicular cancer. It is one of the number 1 killers of men out there. It's a silent killer. Usually by the time you actually have symptoms, it's too late. You're stage 4, and it's spread throughout your body. So fast forward a few years, I'm low on testosterone because of that. I get put on testosterone, which you can't mess with one hormone without messing with all of them. And unfortunately, things went haywire. And that you know, it says like there's a 1 in a million chance that this side effect will happen. Well, I was lucky, Mr. 1 million. And I wound up having a heart attack at the age of 30. And my kidney function went from 100% down to 60% at its lowest. I was told I would never work again. I had to medically retire from my law enforcement career. We lost 55% of our income overnight. My wife was still working, but we were actually right at a point in our marriage. In fact, the reason why all of this came to light was because I was getting ready to do the physical testing to move to a different department that would give me to move to the county department, which would give me a much larger raise. And it would be enough for Mindy to be able to retire and for us for her to stay home with the kids and for us to have the dream that we started out with when we got married. And instead, I found out I couldn't work, and we lost 55% of our income. We wound up struggling, and it wasn't until a few years later, also during that time, found out that I was diagnosed with young onset Parkinson's disease, which causes tremors and shuffling and those things. Same disease that Michael J. Fox was diagnosed with several years ago. And just a couple of other little things that came up that we found out, and asthma and some allergies and things. And I pretty well given up on life. I stayed alive. I was living, but I was just existing. I wasn't actually living. I was just existing. And went through that until one day something shifted in my head. And I said, there's got to be something out there. And the next day I found something, and I built a business, a 6-figure business around that. I sold it. I started a new business. I failed at that business and shifted when I realized that I wasn't meant to be a financial services person, but what I was meant to do was help entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, mompreneurs, people that are trying to build a business, trying to control their own future, and do it without spending 115 or 20 hours a week doing it. I mean, there's only 168 hours a week. And I was able to create my life based on my health issues. I created a productivity system that's really more based on your energy levels versus time management hacks, energy levels and mindset. Because if you don't have a good mindset, doesn't matter how pretty your planner is, you're not going to do it that day. And if you don't have the energy to do what you plan for that day, then you're not going to do what you plan for that day. So that's really my focus. That's when Trevor came to me and said, hey man, after I'd started building my business and started to get clients and get some credibility in this arena, Trevor came to me and said, all right, man, I used to be Mr. Productivity. I was the guy telling people how to use Google Calendar, color coded, all of these things. And now I find myself being overwhelmed. What's your secret? So we started working together. Through working together, Trevor introduced me to Healy, which I'm wearing right now. I'm actually running a program while I'm sitting here, getting some good vibrations. So when Trevor introduced it to me, one of the things that I'd found in my journey of health, by the way, my kidney function is back up to 98% from 60%. The doctor said that would never, ever happen. The Parkinson's disease, I don't take any medication for, and I don't have any symptoms of it. I have type 1 diabetes. I've had that since I was 11, and my blood sugars are doing fantastic, and my heart is doing great. Now, all of these things are part of the journey of over the last 4 or 5 years as I've been going through this and improving my health. But when Trevor introduced me to Healy, I was just astounded at this idea of something that could just sit in the background and find what was wrong with you, find what you needed most in that moment, and then provide the right frequency for you. And I know that sounds silly. And at first I kind of thought, Trevor, are you sure what? And then Trevor said, well, listen, man, I can run a program on you. I'm going to run a program. We'll do it for free. You can run a program and just let me know how you feel. I'm going to do this over the next week when you don't even know, from a distance, right? I'm just going to send you these good vibes. Well, after that week, I started noticing that there was even more improvement in different aspects of my health and my life, things I hadn't even been thinking of. We ran a chakra analysis, aura analysis, and that was when Trevor convinced me, because after the aura analysis came back and Trevor started reading these things and basically saying things that like I hadn't told anybody ever in my life, that I had been stuffing down into a box inside of me since I was a little kid. And he's saying these things and I'm like, oh my gosh, has Trevor been spying on me? Is he like, what's going on? Like, how does this device know this? Well, all of these things added up. And of course I said, that's it. I'm going to pull the trigger. There was a sale, just like there's one going on right now, I believe. I bought the Healy, and things have just been improving. Trevor, if you don't mind me go on for a couple more minutes, I want to list a few of those things. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Josh, this is you. I mean, if people don't know where you have been, your testimonial might fall flat. And this is why, like, I sit back and I tell people, you have no idea that Healy, the first go around with the aura analysis, it went into the shadow of my shadow.
Right.
I never told anybody about this.
Yeah.
And I was planning on taking it to my grave. So feel free, my friend. This is the information that people are literally waiting to hear. So
Awesome.
take the
Awesome.
stage, man.
All right. Well, thank you, Trevor. So one of the things, being a diabetic since I was 11, and this is something, again, what the doctors tell you is, well, it's inevitable. And I don't know if it's inevitable, but I think because in my mind it happened, is that I developed neuropathy. That's the nerve pain, one in the hands, but most especially for me in my feet and going up my legs. And so because of that, of course, you know, they put me on medication for the neuropathy, for the pain, that it's that tingling. It almost feels like, you know, when your arm or your hand falls asleep, like it feels like that, but like 24/7.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, it's like it feels itchy, but it feels painful. It's a horrible feeling. And so they put me on medication for it, which, you know, it helps. But what I found was I really came to dislike wearing wearing pants, because just the material touching my legs, especially as it gets lower. So the neuropathy started in my feet and it's kind of gone up my leg. And so especially in the lower half of my leg, the pant material, even just the slightest touch, you know, I mean, it was Mindy, if we're laying in bed and talking and her foot brushed past my shin, it was like setting off fire ants on there, you know, and it was the same with the material. So for the most part, I wore gym shorts. And what's great about what I do is, because what I do is primarily virtual. Every once in a while, I speak on a stage, but when I work with clients, they're all over the world. And so it is one-on-one, just like this, where Trevor's in Oregon and I'm here in Utah. And so all I'd have to do is, you know, if I wanted to look nice, I could put on a polo shirt or a nice clean t-shirt and then just wear my gym shorts. I didn't have to put on pants. And that's pretty much the way I lived. I only put on pants if it was a situation where I absolutely had to, like going to church, or, you know, going somewhere where shorts would not be, you know, going to a nice restaurant. But it was like the second I got home, man, those pants, I don't even think I got to the bedroom before those pants were starting to come off. And I was running for my gym shorts because it just hurt so bad. So after using the healing and running some skin programs and running some other programs, the digital nutrition, and what's the great thing is that if you know, Trevor can show you how to use it. He showed me the way to actually find what you need the most in that moment. And so I try to start every day with that, and maybe, you know, 2 or 3 times a day, go back and use that system that way to let it tell me what I need. But after doing that, I started noticing that I'd put on pants and then I wasn't quite in a rush to take them off. You know, I'd go out, I'd do something with my pants on, and I'd come home and I'd sit down and meet with a client or two before I took them off, and they weren't bothering me. And so I've noticed that my neuropathy, I'm sorry, I'm working on changing the way, because I know mindset is so powerful. Instead of saying my neuropathy as though I own it, as though it belongs to me or is a part of me, I say as though it's renting space in me and I can evict it at any moment. The neuropathy is getting less and less painful, especially in my legs, and you know, my hands, I hardly have any problems with that at all. You know, the neuropathy affected my dexterity and being able to, you know, I've got 5 girls, and to be able to like even help them with their hair, it affected that. And now that's improved. I can wear pants. I can be a big boy now and wear grown-up pants instead of shorts all the time. And I can keep them on and not feel bad or strange or awkward or painful by having them on. And so that's just one of the big things. Of course, I run programs all the time, and I feel that the what the Healy does and the way it does it, both through just like a vibration like this or actually being connected to it, when you use it the right way, you do feel different. You do feel a difference. I run sleep programs before I go to sleep. The nights that I don't run the sleep programs, I have a harder time going to sleep, or I have a harder time staying asleep. Um, you know, it's got a program for everything. I ran a program the other morning. I woke up and I was kind of like, I don't really feel like doing anything today. You ever have those mornings, Trevor, where you're just kind of like, I just want to lay down?
Today, which is why I'm running the energy program. Like when you saw me when we got on our mastermind, which was a little over an hour ago, I'm like, Josh, I'm just going to be here for a few minutes. Let me go ahead and put on my energy program. And then it was like a few minutes later, I'm like, and zip, here we go. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, so I had one of those mornings. So I actually went in and I selected the jobs program because I was like, I'm supposed to be getting to my work. I'm supposed to be getting ready. So, and doing the things in the morning to get myself ready. So I'm ready to meet with my clients. So I'm in the right frame of mind. So I have the right level of energy. And so, I just I thought, well, let's just see what this jobs program, because I knew about the energy program. I said, let's see what the jobs program does. Man, I was like 10 minutes into it. And I seriously was just like, I was like, I can't wait to get to work. Let's go do it. And like the energy flooded in, the mind started racing, what I needed to do, thinking about the clients I was going to meet with that day, what I should coach them in, what their needs were. All of this just started flowing. Now, I don't know, maybe it's the power of suggestion. You might say that, well, you thought jobs but you know, I do believe in the power of suggestion. That's why I say mindset is so important. But I've never had a suggestion operate that quickly. You know, one little suggestive thought operate that quickly or that powerfully. I know that it was the frequencies realigning my body to say, okay, we're getting you ready to do your job. Because again, it analyzes you so that it knows. So it's not just like, oh, just all kinds of programs about jobs. It's specifically like the 4 or 5 programs that you need out of that. You know, that one program might have 20 or 30 different you know, or 5 or 10 or 15 different sub programs, or what are they called, Trevor? What's the right word for me?
Yeah, there's programs and then there's program pages. So categories, the
Right.
program page is going to be the category and then individual program. So yeah,
Right.
guys, you were saying 4 or 5 programs. That's it. Yep.
Yeah. So it'll, you know, so your program page, you know, if you go to jobs and you say, okay, what is the thing that I resonate the highest with right now? What is it that I resonate with most? It analyzes you, and out of the 15 or 20 programs that could possibly be on that page, it picks the top, you know, 4 or 5 programs that you need. And it's just amazing that it would know how to do that. It works. And it got me to go, yeah, let's go do some work. You know, my mind was ready for some job stuff, and we went and did job stuff, and it was a great day. And so, you know, I guess you could say there's all these little anecdotal stories that I could tell. And I could, like Trevor said, I could be on here for hours. Nobody has ever accused me of not being long-winded. In fact, the opposite is true. But the bottom line is this little Healy, it has tapped into some amazing things that we once thought, you know, you'd have to pay somebody every month or every week to go to them and let them do it. It's tapped into this ability to align your frequencies, align your body, and align everything, because we are all frequencies. I mean, I'm not even talking, you know, mystical. I'm talking straight science. Everything is a frequency. Every cell vibrates. at a certain frequency. That's what creates mass and matter, is when they connect, when the frequencies align and create something, right? That's just science. And this device has figured out how to take all of those little vibrations and get them moving all at the right pace, at the right speed, at the right direction to accomplish what you need most in your life, to help you feel better in the area that you need most. And I found that about the first week that I used it, every time I went to the All Healy's program just to see what was there, it seemed to be like it was always the same program was the top one for the, or, you know, program page. And so then I'd go into that program and then I'd see what was my high, what I resonated with the most. And it was kind of seemed to be the same things for that first week. And at first, I'll be honest, Trevor, I was like, man, I'm going to call Trevor. This thing's broke. It's just like, all it is the same thing. That's it. It's never, I'm never going to experience any other frequencies other than these, because that's it. Well, I kept with it, right? Trevor's laughing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I kept with it. I said, look, right, let's keep working. And things started to change. Depending on the time of day, it was different. And I started to realize that first week, it was probably because that was what my body was so out of tune in those areas that it needed a whole week of these frequencies, right? Like, not just like, let's give them like 20. And I was running it for like 20 minutes, 50 minutes. You know, I was running it for long sessions, and it was, and it was just saying, no, man, this guy, he needs more. And what I realized was that ultimately those areas that it was feeding me or aligning my frequencies, giving me that aligned nutrition, the frequency nutrition, as I like to call it, that I was feeling better. And then things started to change. It started to find other areas and started to find more. And the aura, you know, aligning your chakras and all of that stuff is amazing. I do that once a day as well, sometimes twice a day. And so, as you can see, I'm a huge super fan of it. I mean, you know, any chance I get to talk about it with my clients, with the people I work with, even in our group, Trevor's heard me talk about it in the mastermind that he's part of, that, you know, I've always talked well about it, always thought great things about it. And it's a huge part of my life now. I can't imagine not having it. I mean, to the point where I had sinus infection last week, and I'm just like, I need my Healy. I wasn't like, oh, let's call the doctor. I'm like, I need my Healy. I need extra from my Healy. Let's run more programs, you know? And that's what I like to do, is just run programs throughout the day. And sometimes I pick them, and then I pick the program category, and then I let it pick the specific programs I need. And other times I just let it pick the category I need, and then the specific programs, so to let it do its thing. And so running it throughout the day, actually attaching it to you to run the similar programs or the same program, the corresponding programs through the electrical feed directly onto you is great. It's not, I've had TENS machines before that have actually been painful, and you don't even feel this at all, and you just kind of feel better afterwards. So, so that's that. And because of that, it makes me a better person to do what I do. It makes me a better coach. It gives me, I mean, just like I said, even getting me aligned to do to do my job, right? To do what people pay me to do. And that's something that, you know, we can all be better at what we all want to be better at what we do. We all want to give our best. And this helps me to give my best and then some, and helps my clients with that.
Yeah. And Josh, I'm so glad that you took that time to explain, even down to the element of wearing shorts or wearing pants, because there are so many individuals with diabetes and neuropathy that they don't even know that, or people can't understand, I guess you could say, that is quite a painful event. And something as simple that when I connect with people, I'm like, hey, this in other countries can connect with any disease and can treat anything. Though here in America, it's only a class 2 medical device for pain. So if there is that pain that you're running through, or you've got those sensations, whether it's fibromyalgia, whether it's chronic back pain, whether it's migraines, whether it's jaw pain, whether there's a physical injury, or gosh, the pain of your disalignment from being heart-centered individual can cause a lot of pain in your life. And to have those simple things be alleviated or not noticed anymore, because I remember when we first connected, I mean, you were one of the first people that I went to, and I said, Josh, like, I know there's type 1 diabetes going on. I have no idea what's going to happen. I literally have no idea what's going to happen. And I remember you saying, hey, I used to wake up with this blood sugar reading, and now I'm with this. Is that because of that? And it's like, well, we're like, hey, you know what? And you didn't even talk about the skin tags. That for me, it was like, whoa, like with type 1 diabetes, you got these skin tags, and then one day you just forgot about them. A week went by when they're incessant. You've got these jars of lotion all over, and now it's like, oh, I haven't even gone for the jar of lotion in a week, you know? And it's those things, it's those little small painful activities that for a productivity coach to have now those micro moments that add up so much in our life, to personally have that back and then be able to be more efficient and productive and perform more for clientele. I believe this is a productivity machine and technology to help improve that overall.
Well, it really is, Trevor. I mean, you know, again, my system of productivity is based on the fact of we are batteries, we need to recharge. You can't give your best at tomorrow's work if you don't recharge today. In fact, I teach people here, I'm going to give you guys some $1 million ideas. People pay me thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars to hear this. You're going to hear it straight from me right now. Trevor's probably just like, okay, I got to get the tape recorder because I always come up with something new. But anyhow, here's the idea, guys. Look, now I'm getting serious. I'm getting on the edge of my seat here, and we're gonna talk. Okay.
Bring it. I'm ready.
So when you plan your week, here's what everybody does. They get their planner, they plan their week, and they write in when they've got their business appointments, when they've got their doctor's appointments, when they've got soccer, this blah, 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 right? Everything that's keeping us busy, right? They don't put in when they're going to rest. They don't schedule it. And write this down, everybody. What gets scheduled gets done. Simple as that. What gets scheduled gets done. And so when people create their week, they do it backwards. They put in all of the busy stuff first, and then they wind up with itty bitty amounts, right? Remember the genie, itty bitty living space. That's the same thing. Itty bitty living time for them to be with their family, be with the people that recharges them, or even just be alone, be with nature, do the things, the hobbies and the things that invigorate them and help them to be better people, right? To not be grumpy, to not be cranky. You know, I'm a big advocate of taking a nap. I converted Trevor to taking naps. He is now a napping fool because of me. But you know, it's funny. I mean, people really should take naps. It's proven that they can be more productive if they take a nap 4 to 6 hours after waking up. And if it's and not a long one, just, you know, 20 to 40 minutes. Winston Churchill in the middle of World War II, while Germany's dropping bombs 40 stories above his head because he's 40 stories down in the earth, he's got a closet with a cot and he's taking a nap in the middle of the day. He literally told the king he takes a nap at 4 p.m. Told the king, no, I can't meet with you on Mondays at 4 p.m. because I take a nap at 4 p.m. The king says, is that allowed? And he says, is that permissible? And he says, well, it's not permissible, but it's necessary for me to do my best work. So the king literally changes his schedule to meet with Winston because that's how important a nap was. So that's my taking a nap, energizing yourself. So how do we do that? The best way is to plan, to schedule our free time first, right? To schedule our family time, to schedule our hobbies, to schedule those things that are going to recharge us, schedule the off time. Like, when am I going to quit work? And that's it. I'm not going to answer a phone. I'm not going to answer an email after this time. And this time to this time is for my family. It's for dinner. It's for getting ready, the kids ready for bed, spending time with my significant other. those things, and actually writing those things down, right? Not necessarily planning like, oh, okay, kids, dinner is over at 5 p.m. So we're done, get out of here, right? No, you don't have to be that rigid, but at least scheduling it so you know that these are the things I want to get done during my off time that are going to recharge my battery. Because it's not just about, because if you're just going to sit and watch Netflix all night, you're also not going to recharge your battery. You're actually going to feel more tired. So with all of that being said, giving you guys that advice to schedule the stuff that's going to recharge you, having active rest, doing things that are going to cause you to live. There's Trevor's nap.
This is it. Yep. 9
Schedule.
to 10 every day.
9 to 10. Him and I, we snap at the same time, 9 to 10 every day. But if you're doing those things, right, and doing the things that are going to recharge you, and that's where the living comes in, right? I have a saying, I say, stop existing, start living. Existing is just sitting there and barely getting through the day, never talking to your kids, keeping your nose in your phone or in Netflix, and just barely, and getting to the end of the day and being like, oh, it's over, right? If you're living for the weekend, you're living wrong. You're doing something wrong. If you can't wait to get to Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and then Sunday comes and you're dreading Monday, you're living life wrong. I live in a way that when Sunday night comes, I can't wait for Monday morning. And when Friday shows up, it's a surprise to me. I don't look for it. I don't count the days. I just go, oh, wow, today's Friday. Hey, my weekend starts when I'm done today. That's how you should be living. And if you're doing the things outside of work, after work, in the evenings, on the weekends that are going to recharge your batteries, that's the way you will live. So what does that have to do with the Healy? Well, because I don't have issues with neuropathy as badly as I did before, because sugars are better, because nights are better, because my rest is better, that means I have more energy, one, to give to my clients, and two, to give to my family, or vice versa, one, to give to my family, and two, to give to my clients. Instead of having plans and then having to go, you know what, those plans require pants, and I've been sitting at my desk too long today. There's no way I can do that, right? Who cares if you make $1 million a minute if you don't have the health and the energy after work to go out and spend with your family, to spend, and by family, I'm not just talking about wife, kids. I'm talking about whoever you consider family, your friends, your loved ones, your dogs. If that's your family, I mean, we got an English bulldog. Holy cow. She is definitely part of it. And by the way, I've used it on her. She had a patch of hair that was, that she'd lost some hair off on the side. And using the Healy on her hair's begun to grow back. And it's interesting that when I ran the analysis for her, that was what came back, was skin and beauty programs. And so, and you think a dog worrying about their skin or beauty, well, it knows what her frequencies need, not necessarily what she's thinking about. But because she's probably just thinking about what's on my plate and if she can steal it. But the point is if you want to maximize your productivity in business or at work, whatever it is, you're looking for that promotion, you're looking to shine, you're looking to outperform, or you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to build your business, scale it, lead a team, become a CEO position, not just working in, but working on your business, and you want that energy, then why wouldn't you buy something? Why wouldn't you put something in your life that is going to not only help you with your goals of energy and health, but ultimately help you with your business, right? Because if energy and health is taken care of, business gets taken care of. It's just kind of a domino effect. And so, like I said, I always talk to people about, it's more important what they do on their time off. Now, if you can have this little device running, like I said, I've got it here running, you can see it hopefully you can see it kind of blinking there. It's running. And if you have a device that can help you throughout the day, or that can get you back in the groove or get you back in flow state. I talk a lot about flow state and just working. And when you feel that matching the task to the energy level that you have. And if you want that energy level to last longer, or you want to have it at a certain time of day, why wouldn't you invest in something that would help you do that? Now, I know the FDA is going to say, well, these are all anecdote, but bottom line, guys, I'm not the only one. I didn't buy this because it was just Trevor. there are testimony after testimony. You can go online, you can go to Trevor's website, you can find them left and right, people talking about this device and talking about how amazing it is and how it's been helping them and changing their lives. And that's the best part, is because it works on an individual level. It's not just, I'm not just going to say, there you go, choose Healy.com on the YouTube channel, and testimony after testimony, testimonials, all of these things. Were you going to play a little video, Trevor? Or no, you're
just wanted to show people where it was, of where to get the testimonials.
So there are testimonials. I mean, and that's just from the people that Trevor has been able to contact and impact their lives. We're not even talking about all the other people all over that are being involved in getting a Healy. And so again, if you are serious about building your business, now I'm going to be talking directly to entrepreneurs here, because I think that's Trevor and I, that's who we kind of work with. And if you want to get serious about building your business and you want to get serious about productivity, you need to do two things. You need to join my free group on Facebook, Productivity Mastery, or join the Gab workshop. You got to do something with me. That's number one. But number two, a very close second, almost tied with first, is you got to get involved with Healy. If you don't know, if you want to find out, you can contact Trevor, you can contact myself. We'll run programs on you from a distance so you can experience it yourself. You know what Trevor was talking about earlier when I was talking about, you know, my blood sugars and all of those other things, that happened when Trevor was in Oregon and I was in Utah. That wasn't even me running the programs on myself. So, you know, guys, I fully believe in this product. I fully endorse Healy. I fully believe in it. You're getting a guy who is one of the fastest growing productivity gurus and mentors in the US right now. I'm surpassing so many other people because of my unique abilities and my unique outlook on productivity. I call it a productivity for every person, right? Instead of the productivity for the guy that's got the chef, the personal trainer, the au pair, the nanny, the maid. You know, this is for the mom, the dad who's, look, I've got 6 kids. I don't know. Did I mention that, Trevor? Did we already mention that?
No, you didn't mention the 6 kids.
Oh,
nothing.
Man, what am I doing? I have 6 kids. 4 of them are under the age of 5. Yep, that's right. We had 4 right in a row. My poor wife was pregnant for 4 years in a row. And that in and of itself takes energy, right? I've got an English bulldog. Well, she's lazy. That doesn't take a lot of energy, but other than just to love her and care for her. But I have my mom who is living in our home now because of some health issues with her eyes. So we're helping to take care of her. We've got a life going on. My wife is going back to school to finish her teaching degree because she can work from home as a teacher. And she got this amazing job that they're paying her a salary year round, and they're paying for her to go to school, right? To finish up her school, to get her teaching degree, because they were so impressed with what she did that they hired her even without her teaching certificate. So, you know, life is happening. So I need to be at my A game as much as possible. I can't be like, hey, this weekend we're going to go out and do this, and then get to the weekend and go, hey, sorry, 6 kids, wife, dog, mom, and everybody else that I promised to do this, we're not going to do it. I mean, that's just too much sadness in this house to deal with. 5 of my children are all girls. So daddy's girls, always wanting to cuddle, always, you know, that's the other thing too, is they love that part. They love my lap. They love daddy's lap. So the little ones are always fighting to sit on there. And before there would be times where it would hurt so bad that either I couldn't have them sit on me, or as they're struggling with each other to try to get dominance on my lap, that I'd, you know, just yell out, ow, you know, ow, stop, that hurts. And that's not what you want your kids to hear or remember about dad, you know, or mom. And now I don't do that. Now go ahead, fight it out. Let's see who gets top spot, you know, and it's just great to be able to be involved and be able to do that and to feel better, not only because of things that I've already been doing, but to enhance what I've been doing, to what I'm already doing, enhance it with this device and get more out of life, get more living out of life, which is my whole goal for myself and every client that I have.
Wow, what a gift that you gave to yourself, Josh. And this is where it's like, did I make some money? Sure. Made a few $100 when I made the sale. And really it wasn't, I mean, how salesy? I think I'm like the anti-sales guy. I'm like, you
Oh
want to try
man,
this?
Trevor, it was like, here, let me try this for a week. And then after the week, hey, what'd you think? Yeah, I liked it. And all right, well, when you want it, you know where I'm at. Like that was the sales pitch, right? And then there was the occasional like, hey man, just so you know, there is a big sale on it right now. You can get it for really cheap, but whenever you're ready. And then
Mhm.
it was like, okay, I'm ready. Let's do it. And
Yep.
and we did it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, right now, I think this is the most I've ever sold Healy before, be like contacting people and say, hey, get on it. And it's more of the wave is here. We've been waiting out on our surfboards. And if you want to ride the first real, well, this isn't the first real wave. I mean, we've been rocking it for a while, but the transition from lifetime, because you got a resonance and that gives you the opportunity to help your family, whether it's hands-on or hands-off. I mean, I'm literally running a program right now for, who am I running? For Dean. Last night he fell on his face and did one of these with his like right there. And so his wrist was all jacked. So I'm helping him out right now. I'm running a program on me. I've got one here going. We've got two other Healys. We have 4 Healys in the house because every single time something, as you're saying, goes wrong or has an instance that comes up, we're like, go to the Healy. And we found ourselves just really taking advantage of all that Healy has to offer. And simply by giving people frequency, Healy gave us additional Healys that we get to. We've only purchased one. We got 3 at no cost. I mean, this does not need to be sold. The Healy does not need to be sold. It experienced, yeah, answer questions, yeah, connected with people who know about the quantum field and quantum entanglement and all that stuff. And crazy, sure, yeah, 0 point vector frequency energy Tesla coils in your pocket. Sure, like I can talk that. Or hey, it's a class 2 medical device for pain. And we can cut it off there. The idea is that it doesn't have to be complex. It is a simple technology that has been it was this huge stack, like I don't know if anybody remembers like CD players, let alone like big racks of like audio, that our parents used to have. But that's what these used to be 18, 20 years ago. And now that technology is really that size. And my question is, Josh, how with 6 kids and 2, 3 adults and a dog, so that brings you up to a total of 10. How do you only have one how do you do it, man? Julie and I were both like yesterday, check this out. We had one going on our cat Tiga because Max is a dog. He's a 13-year-old. He's kind of blind and doesn't hear very well. He's a Chihuahua wiener.
Uh-huh.
And so our my in-laws, the dog was over and the cat, she's 8, 9 months. She doesn't see many dogs, so she was kind of freaking out. And so we're running a Healy on her to help her with the balance. And then Dean crashed. So we've got one physically on him. We've got one on the resonance, and we have 3 going on there. And then Julia and I were like, when I asked her for hers, she reluctantly went, okay. It was this like almost like, is this like taking somebody's last piece of like potato or French fry? Are we starting a war here? So
Right.
how is it, Josh, with everything that you experience, like, and like how do you only have one?
So that's so we bought it during one of the sales,
Mm-hmm.
and the idea was okay. I mean, we knew that we'd had experience enough to the point we said we're going to buy it, but we kind of thought, well, let's really see. Let's put it to the test and see. And we did, and we have, and it. So that's kind of the thing is it became okay, we're going to give people different terms, we're going to run different programs, we're going to do these different things at different times, right? And one should be good enough, right? Like we're not just going to want to run programs all day long. No, you want to run programs all day long. I swear to you, you're just like, just keep running programs, just keep running programs. And so we are going to be investing in another one, if not 2 or 3. um, and by the way, I'd like to just point out, and I tell this to my clients, I use the word investing in purposefully because when you say the word cost means purchasing and consuming. You get nothing out of it. What's the cost of a banana? I'm going to purchase it. I'm going to consume it. Investing is I'm going to put my money somewhere, whether that's to a company to get a product, to a coach to get a service, to the stock market to get something, right? To get something, to get a return. If you pay for a coach, your return is that you should, if it's a business coach, that your business is better, that you know, if you're investing in me, you should have better productivity, more time with your family, better energy levels, better time management skills. And so investing in the healing is you're getting something back. You're getting huge returns on your health. When you have huge returns on your health, you have huge returns in your business, in your family life, in everything that's important to you. And so, yes, we will be investing here in the next day or two, probably the next day. We will be investing in a couple more because it is absolutely, I mean, it is, it's just, it's necessary almost, you know, at this point, it's, you know, we do have, and it's the same thing. It's like, well, Mindy said the other day, she said, well, could you run some programs for me, or could I use it and run some and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm kind of, I'm in the middle of a program. When I'm done, fine, you know, and you start to kind of like, but it's my toy, it's mine, right? Because it makes you feel so good. So no, absolutely, Trevor. You make a good point. And that's the thing, is we've been using it now for several months, and that's we've I mean, we've vetted it, you know, to the point where, yes, is it worth the investment for 2 or 3? But it's definitely worth the investment for 1. If anybody is watching this and is just sitting there going, well, I don't know if I'd use it for my whole family, but maybe for me, don't even question. Get it for you. I promise you, you probably will use it for your whole family, but at least get it for you, because it is worth the investment. It is going to give you those things that you need. Again, coming from the productivity world, you absolutely have to have your energy levels ready for the tasks you want to accomplish. That's why people fail so often, is because they get into the office and the first thing that they're told, right? What's the standard product? Eat that frog, right? Do the big ugly task first. And what happens is they don't have the energy to do the big ugly task first. They won't have that till the afternoon, maybe, or at least a couple hours into work. And then it drags and they feel horrible about it. So that's, again, there's a tip. There's a $umpteen-thousand tip right there for you guys, is don't worry about eat that frog. Match your task to your energy level that you're at, and monitor your energy levels. If you know you're going to have higher energy levels in the afternoon, like I know that's when I schedule my high leverage, high grossing activities that are going to make me money. If I know I'm going to have lower energy in the morning, then I schedule things like checking my email and low energy, low leverage activities, so that I'm not wasting my high energy on low leverage activities. But coming back to the Healy, if you want to increase that energy or maximize that energy, then you are going to have to supplement it. And that supplement, obviously, we talk about nutrition, we talk about what we put in our bodies, but your frequencies, man, your frequencies get messed up by TVs, by electronics, by moods, by negative energy of people, by all kinds of things. And you need to have that aligned, right? It's not just about food and sleep and all of that. It is about your energy. And by that, I don't just mean energy levels. I mean your energy, the stuff around you, the people that are affecting you. And if you're going to have the best energy, you're going to have the best experience in life of living it, then you're definitely going to want a Healy. It's absolutely, it's almost an essential at this point. And ultimately it will save you on money if you are somebody who likes to go to different healers and masseuses and chiropractors and even doctors and medication. Again, not FDA approved, I know, but but ultimately it will. I mean, I am taking less of I have so much surplus of the Lyrica for the neuropathy pain, because I take 1, maybe 2 pills a day instead of 3 or 4 like I'm supposed to. And so again, that saves me money. I don't have to refill it as often, and I get to And hopefully the idea is, as I continue to work through things and change my nutrition, continue to change my habits, continue to use the Healy, that I'll be able to totally step away from that medication, just like I have with my Parkinson's medication. So that's my testimony, Trevor. That's it, man.
Wow. It's so beautiful, because the first time we connected with it, and there was a significant amount of reluctancy when it was brought to me, I'll just say.
Mhm.
And then after really feeling into the energies and experiencing it, it was like, this thing's got a 14-day, 100% guarantee. Like, what have I got to lose? We put 6 figures towards the health and wellness and healing journey for our son and my wife. What's an extra few grand? And then I felt the energy, and I went, wow, this is real. And they've just got started on the individual program basis. And, right now is that time to really lean in, because as like for myself, we have 4 Healys. Those frequencies are ours for life. Josh, you have the Healy and the Healys that you get in the next few days, which you don't want to wait until the end of the month, because the servers will get bogged down like big time. I mean, over the weekend, it was like I couldn't even help somebody make a sale. We had to wait till today because it was like that intense. And
Well, that's what happened when I got this one. Was I waited till the last day of the sale, right? You had to help me get through it, and then we still had to contact them to get them to ship it out because it was taking so long. And look, guys, and I'm not saying anything bad. The company's great, but when you get that many sales, fulfillment does get a little bit bogged down. So that's what Trevor's saying is, if you don't want to have to wait a few extra weeks because they're trying to get through all the orders. And that's why, like I said, I'm doing that ASAP, because we don't want to get bogged down.
well, yeah, and they're switching over their whole business model, going from a lifetime subscription to a monthly subscription.
Mhm.
And that is a huge saver on the money. So the return on investment, it's infinite at this point for myself and my family. I mean, what's really fun is going to be showing people, and I don't know if you've done this, but we have things that we purchase on a monthly basis that we're no longer going to be purchasing on a monthly basis, because we have recorded the frequency of said item and are no longer going to be required to pay on an ongoing basis in order to get those items.
Mhm.
So very disruptive in any industry you can think of, from a productivity, from a sports. My gosh, I cannot wait to connect with an Olympian athlete, to connect and talk about frequency medicine and to help them recover and rebound. So if you know those people, I would love to chat with those people and to connect with people, whether, I mean, we were just talking about some friends who have some elderly individuals in their life. And it's like, well, not only are they going through significant pain, but gosh, there's a reason why there's memory programs in here. There's a reason why sleep programs are in here. There are reasons why this. And it's like, once you get this technology, the first thing I wanted to do, yes, I did want to hoard it to myself. Like, that's just the reality of it. My mind could not stop thinking about all the people that I could help. And I was not required to drive to Utah to take 10 hours or whatever it is to drive to you. I could shoot you a text, send you a message, give you a quick call and say, hey, brother, I got something. Got to try it out. I want to see if it helps you, because I love you and I care about you. And if anybody is going to as you level up, I feel like we have to level up in the information that we're giving you to help you on your journey. It's like, wow, I guess it's time to go into the quantum. Right. Connect with us, because Josh is like, he's Joe Dispenza and meditation and healing his own self. It's like, well, I guess we're gonna go full quantum with this guy, because he's totally in it to win it. So yeah, it's and I know there are things that you didn't have time to go into, or didn't even go into, where I'm like the shorts. Like, when I heard that, I think it was last week, I was like, well, why didn't you tell me that weeks? Like, when did it happen? And all this stuff. It's like, wow, I'm still learning about all of the amazingness in people's life. And what's interesting is they don't think it's a big enough deal to say, hey, this was a life-changing event. And I'm like, why didn't you share that, like, with the world? people in your life are literally praying at night saying, I wish I wasn't in so much pain, let alone all the other ailments that this creates a bioresonating, energetic potential for that issue to be connected with, so your own self can reconnect with its own optimal alignment.
Right.
So, because it doesn't heal, it's not healing you.
Yeah.
It's helping you remember what optimal is, and then allowing, creating the potential for your body to go to do that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man, Josh, we could go on for hours, and I would love to keep doing these, testimonials and updates. Just, hey, how's when you got a Gab launch and you're about to launch, because when's your next Gab? When's your next goal acceleration blueprint coming up?
You know what, I'm looking at my calendar right here, and we're looking towards the third week in July. So,
Nice.
and I'll tell you why, because here we are, we're at the end of June. It's the middle of the year, right? We've had 6 months to work on our goals. Where are we? It's gut check time. But the beginning of July, we got Independence Day here in the United States. We've got some things going on. People, a lot of times, the first couple of weeks, that's when they like to take vacation. And so when they get back, that's when I want them to join and hit this. Obviously, you have a link. I'm updating everything, updating the website and everything, so people can get the right handbook. But it's a week-long intensive training boot camp, essentially goal accelerator blueprint, to help you to get to the point where you literally have a blueprint of what's the next right step for my goal. What's the next right step? Because that's the easiest way to achieve a goal, is just take the next right step instead of worrying about the full. Yeah. So that was the last one we did in March. So I'll be updating that, but absolutely. That is the website and what we want to do and where we want to go with that. So
yeah, and I put in all the lives where this is posted to. It's going to 4 places, trying out this technology. So it's streaming out to 2 YouTube places and 2 Facebooks, and all of them, it's bit.ly/productivity mastermind will get you to this. And Josh, it's changed my life. I mean, I could spend a few hours sharing how much, knowing that what I have been taught about productivity, not to say it's wrong, it's just, it's not aligned. It's not aligned with the reality of life. I imagine myself being single with no kids, and like in a mountain somewhere, and I'm like, I'm super productive, and then set me in this life, and it's like, wow, I sit back, and all the things that I'm outsourcing, I'm probably going to be required to outsource at least 17, if not 32 positions as an entrepreneur to accelerate and ascend to that CEO, owner, operator level. And I don't know what I would do without you. And this was one of those pivotal moments where I felt this breath of relief going, it's gonna take some time to unlearn. And then once I relearn it, and that's why your 6 months follow-up program has been, it's insanely beneficial, which I'm opting in again. I mean, I'm going for it. Like, you probably have to kick me out. Like, Trevor, how many businesses are you going to run? You're productive at all of them. Like, when are you going to leave? You don't need me anymore. I'm like, I love you. No, you don't. Get out of here. You're 6. Get out of here. 3 comma club.
That's right.
So, anyway.
Well, we'll always accept you into our mastermind, and Trevor, that you bring so much value, and working with you is such a pleasure and such a joy. And I really appreciate you, what you said about what what that workshop is. I spent a lot of time. I mean, it's hard to take everything and put it into 5 days, essentially 3 pillars spread out over 5 days, but it's a work of passion for me, and I love doing it, and that's why I give it away. And and then if you want more, if you want, like you just said, if you want that hand holding, we've got more that we can give you. We got a 6-month program. We got other programs too. So Trevor, it's been a total joy being here with you as always.
Wow.
Thank you so much. So
my pleasure.
anytime you want to connect on this, I'm always happy to.
Awesome, man. Well, and if you need any assistance or you got any questions and you start recording those frequencies and you're like, how do I record the frequency of whatever? I'll be like, oh, it's just this. So always here to help. I appreciate you, man. Love you very much. Thank you for investing the time in your story and what has transpired over the last few months. It's been profoundly peaceful. Listening to your story to know that, yeah, it is okay to have multiple businesses to serve in multiple directions that you may have never have dreamed that you would ever do. And I find immense amount of pleasure and passion in serving other people unconditionally, because they don't have to buy anything in order to see benefits, and they can see that reality of the future for themselves and move forward on their own time, which is really, really feels wonderful for me. So thank you for your testimonial. And I really appreciate you. And we'll see you on Wednesday for the mastermind.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Trevor. Love
Oh,
you
brother.
too. We'll see you later.